Evaluating an Airbnb guest takes time. It's an essential step to ensure that you are letting someone into your property, knowing that they'll take good care of the place. But how do we accomplish this? In this episode, we'll discuss how to evaluate a potential tenant or guest to prevent scams, or worse, property destruction. Expect the worst. Though short-term rentals are at risk, Airbnb protects its hosts from these incidents by pledging up to $1 million for property damage. Hosts may also issue damage deposits to guests so that they can claim them if there are any damages present after their stay. You're not overreacting if you think that every inquiry you receive is a suspected scam. You can hire professional tenant screening services to help you feel at ease, but there are things you should keep in mind whenever you evaluate a guest. Always abide by the laws. There are laws enforced to protect both hosts and guests. You must treat each inquiry equally. As much as possible, avoid questions that pertain to a person's national origin, race, sexual orientation, or disability. Consult a tenant screening service. For short-term rentals, there are property management companies who include this, along with other services you can choose from. With improved screening techniques, they'll be able to filter those who are potential guests from those attempting to take advantage of your property. Check the reviews. Airbnb has a review feature wherein host reviews can be read on the guest's profile before confirming the booking. This feature applies to hosts as well. Reading your guest's review is a good way to know them better. Read feedback from previous hosts and also check for negative reviews. Consider some red flags: leaving the place untidy, being unmindful of the house rules, or other complaints from previous hosts. Profile verification. The best way to check a potential guest's identity is to take advantage of the Airbnb guest verification feature. Since setting up an Airbnb account requires you to put essential information such as your name, address, contact number, and even a photo. This is to ensure that the guests are not just made-up accounts, and they're who they say they are. You might want to check for that verified ID badge on the guest's profile. Make sure you read all the information provided to you. This includes the inquiries sent to you by potential guests. Requests such as a quick getaway or visiting a friend from a nearby place seems legit, but if you're still uneasy about it, you can always ask them for follow-up questions. As you screen your guests, look out for the following: inconsistencies. A legitimate guest would communicate their concerns to you beforehand, and they'd make sure everything is good to go and set on the expected date. Perform a web search. This step is completely optional, but you may come across any relevant information and you can utilize this to evaluate your guest. Trust your instincts. While it's completely fine to hire someone to do the tenant screening for you, at the end of the day, your instincts should always come in handy. If the conversation doesn't feel right, then you're probably better off trusting your gut. Short-term rental properties are prone to malicious intent, so we should always keep these steps in mind and make the most out of it to prevent worst-case scenarios from happening. So, how'd you find this episode? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments and don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to keep you notified with our latest videos. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next episode.